Welcome to Hot Drama TV. Tonight, forget the poster couple. In The Prisoner of Beauty, the spotlight keeps slipping sideways toward a scholar who smiles like a secret, and a maid who outthinks every room she walks into. How did a cameo stir the central romance? And why did one untypical maid become the show's moral compass and meme machine at once? Lean in because the bench just stole the game and I'm about to show you how. When the spotlight slips sideways. If you've been chasing the weekly rush of The Prisoner of Beauty, you've probably noticed something curious. The further the show sprints toward its finale, the more the spotlight keeps sliding. Not away from the leads. Lu Yuning's flinty calm and Song Zuer's quicksilver charm still anchor the frame, but sideways onto a supporting bench that refuses to be background. As episodes stack and ratings climb, the fan funnel widens. Side characters once introduced as flavor start driving the aftertaste. The memeable beats, the quotable lines, the unexpected tugs that keep viewers clicking next. This is not an accident. Smart serials orchestrate an emotional cadence. High-stakes turns with the central couple, then relief, misdirection and micro-payoffs elsewhere. In The Prisoner of Beauty, that orchestra adds two standout instruments. A cameo scholar who softens the edges of wartime chaos, and a maid who bulldozes a century of costume drama clichés with wit, warmth, and audacity. The gentleman who walked out of a ballad, Peter Ho's return. Peter Ho's reappearance lands like a breeze through heavy drapes. He doesn't swagger in as the thunderous warlord you might remember. He drifts in ink-stained fingers, clear gaze, the scholar you'd expect to find in an old poem. As Chun Shi, also known in some subtitles as Gao Hang, he radiates studied grace. A romantic who speaks plainly. A man who believes that intellect can be shield and sword in a world that keeps insisting otherwise. Across from Lu Yuning's Wei Xiao, all sinew and steel, Ho's energy is a foil. Mature, reflective, gently ironic. The chemistry isn't rivalry in the crude, chest-thumping sense. It's the more dangerous variety, the kind that creeps in through conversation, shared silences, and the steady accumulation of what if. You can see why Wei Xiao's inner alarms blare. This isn't a brute trying to yank Qiao away. It's a reader of hearts who might simply fit. Crucially, the cameo has purpose beyond fan service. Chun Shi catalyzes story movement. He adds air and wit, sneaks in humor that doesn't puncture the stakes, and gives the show a nostalgic shimmer, like a nod to classic scholar heroes without embalming them. He is the pebble in the shoe of the central romance, the mild inconvenience that becomes an ache if ignored. And because Peter Ho plays him with unforced charm, the ache is delicious. The maid who rewrote the maid, Xueqin Xiao Tao. Then there's Xiao Tao. On paper, maid to the heroine. On screen, agent, accomplice, comic sniper, audience surrogate, and whenever the narrative needs a small miracle, a highly competent logistics department in a single human. Xueqin refuses the porcelain doll mold that costume dramas often press on sidekicks. Her Xiao Tao is round-faced, quick-witted, and strategically shameless in the best way. She doesn't pretty her way out of problems, she outspeeds them mentally. That alone is subversive. Body positive without preaching, Xiao Tao's design quietly announces, capability is the point, charm is a byproduct. She springs narrative traps and then grins at us as if to say, see? That wasn't sorcery. That was thinking. The result is not just comic relief but structural relief. Pressure valves that keep heavy scenes from congealing into melodrama. Her banter is sugar, her problem-solving is protein. And audiences feel the respect embedded in her writing. Xiao Tao is not a prop to flatter her mistress. She's a perspective. Through her we get working-class wit and moral clarity, two things that tend to survive palace intrigue better than diamonds. A side romance that moves the main plot, Xiao Tao and General Wei Liang. Give a beloved supporting character a love line and you risk diffusing attention. Give Xiao Tao a love line with General Wei Liang and you refine attention. Their dynamic is a textbook in B-plot with A impact. It offers tonal modulation, lighter textures, playful reversals, while mirroring the big theme of the show. Affection under pressure, loyalty with teeth. Watch how their scenes work. A flirtatious feint seeds a later save. A comic misunderstanding foreshadows a battlefield turn. Moments that seem like palate cleansers are actually narrative investments. The show cashes them in when the main arc needs credibility or emotional ballast. We end up rooting for them not as a consolation prize but as a proof of concept. If love can be negotiated and defended at their social tier, then maybe the grander romance at the top can survive its storms too. The woman behind the laughs, Li Xueqin's off-screen gravitas. Part of Xiao Tao's resonance comes from the gravity Li Xueqin brings in from real life. She is not simply naturally funny. She is trained by elite classrooms, by overseas study, by mental health valleys, by the bruises of public skepticism. A Peking University graduate with a master's from New York, she once shouldered the weight of other people's expectations so heavily that the path went dim. Choosing comedy was, for her, both rebellion and rescue. That biography matters because The Prisoner of Beauty uses her talents precisely. Timing that can lace warmth into a barbed line, listening that turns a straight man into a scene partner, craft that lets a one-liner double as character development. When audiences learn she's been called names for wasting a prestigious degree, and then watch her steal scenes through intelligence and motion, the parasocial bond thickens. The laugh refreshes, the backstory lingers. Admiration turns into advocacy. Why the supporting cast keeps you watching, and what it teaches creators. So why are fans flocking to the bench? 3 reasons. Purposeful casting. Peter Ho's scholar isn't decorative nostalgia. He's a moving lever that reroutes character trajectories while flattering veteran viewers. Archetype renovation. Li Xueqin Xiao Tao proves that competency and comedic sparkle can live in a body the genre rarely spotlights, and that viewers reward authenticity over surface symmetry. Story economics. The show spends side character minutes like venture capital. Small scenes now, large returns on tension, texture, and trust later. For creators, the lesson sings. Give every supporting role a clear function, catalyst, mirror, valve, or bridge, then write toward that function with hooks that audiences can carry off-screen, nostalgia, wit, or a human story worth retelling. For viewers, the invitation is simpler. The next time you feel an episode humming, ask yourself whose heartbeat you're hearing. The answer might not be the couple in the poster. It might be the scholar who smiles like a secret, or the maid who solves rooms by thinking faster than everyone else. And that, perhaps, is The Prisoner of Beauty's slyest trick. It promises a romance and delivers a community. One where the leads blaze, yes, but the supporting cast keeps the fire fed and the room warm enough that you don't notice how late it's gotten, until the credits roll and you're already reaching for the next episode. So yes, the leads blaze, but it's the supporting cast that keeps the fire fed. Which scene stealer owned your heart? The ink-stained gentleman or the quick-witted maid? Tell me below. If this breakdown sparked a thought, tap like, share it with a fellow fan, and subscribe. More smart story first deep dives are coming your way.